Hello, everyone. It's Kevin Harvell from STLTechDoc.com here at the Kansas City Developer Conference, KCDC 2014. Here with Josh Simmons from OReilly Media.
Nice to be here.
It's a name that you probably know, OReilly Media, but we're going to learn a little bit about OReilly and what they're all about. So tell us a little bit about OReilly Media and what it is they're all about.
Sure. So OReilly is, if I remember right, it's about a 36-year-old company. It was founded originally by Tim O'Reilly and Dale Doherty and a few others working on manuals for setting up computers really early on. And it was actually kind of a consulting business, but quickly Tim realized that there was a much larger opportunity in getting the information that he was providing to singular clients just out to the wide world. Mm-hmm. If I remember right, our first book was something about, it's like Internet in a Box. I mean, it wasn't our first thing, but it was a really big thing that got us started because it wasn't always easy to get online. So that's where we started. But since then, my gosh, we've blown up into publishing books. We do events now. Mm-hmm. We have a school of technology. So there are a lot of moving parts to the company now, and we've really expanded the topic areas that we cover. But more or less, it's pretty much the same mission. Our goal is to get the best information that's out there and put it in your hands.
Right. And OReilly Media is a platinum sponsor here at the KCDC.
That's right.
What is it that brings O'Reilly to conferences like this to sponsor and help put, because without sponsors, conferences like this, it's tough to pull off.
Right. So we've been watching KCDC for a few years, and we've been a supporter for a while, mm-hmm. But this is our first time here. And, we thought it would be good, and it's been great. Honestly, I've heard a lot about Kansas City and what's up and coming here. I used to be in the startup scene, so I heard a lot about it through that lens as well. And I'd have to say it's just really incredible to be here. It's a thriving community that's clearly on the up and up. And what we've realized in the last few years is that we're very coast-centric. Right. And there's so much happening in between
the coasts.
Right. And that's a big deal.
In the flyover states, as they like to call them.
Right. And oh my gosh. And I've flown over too often, and Kansas City is actually a really wonderful place that I've enjoyed. It's the first time here for all of us, really. Mm-hmm. And what we're here for, basically, is just to get the word out about what we're doing, obviously. Right. It's marketing for us. But it's also getting a sense of what the community here is like. So my role at OReilly is as a community manager. So while I'm here, I'm getting a sense of what technologies people are using, why they're using them, what companies are here, just getting a feel for the space. So it's been really valuable for us, and I'm excited to come back next year.
So where is OReilly? Where's their home base? And I'm sure you have offices in multiple locations.
So we are international, but we started in Cambridge, and then our headquarters is in Sebastopol, California, a city probably no one has ever heard of. It's in Northern California, wine country area, about an hour north of San Francisco.
Okay, nice. So let's switch gears and talk a little bit about education. And I know the other day you were mentioning, some pretty big news came from OReilly in the world of education. So tell us a little bit about that.
It's a little bit mind-blowing. A few months ago, we got a call from the White House on a Friday, and Monday when I came back to work, I heard some whisperings from the PR department, and then boom, I read it in the newspaper. OReilly is part of a public-private partnership called ConnectEd with Apple, Autodesk, Microsoft, AT&T, Sprint. I think there are a lot of other people involved. But OReilly's contribution to ConnectEd is access to Safari Books, access to our entire catalog of content through Safari Books Online for every school in America.
So for every school, elementary, middle, high school?
Absolutely. And I believe it's through the public school system. Okay. It was one of those things that it kind of came out of left field for us, but it was totally a fit for the kind of the thing that we like to do. And as an employee of OReilly, it's something that I'm incredibly proud to be involved with. Having come up through the school system, especially in California, with budget cut after budget cut after budget cut, it's nice to know that kids now are going to have more opportunity, basically, right, and access to better information, especially in context of overpriced textbooks and things like that.
Right. I mean, and speaking of textbooks, and we are at a developers conference.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, looking now. Most people probably may not know the name O'Reilly Media as the name that's behind publishing all the books that they've been reading for years.
That's right. And it actually is. It's always a little bit surprising to me because we have our super fans who they know it's been O'Reilly from day one, but then there are people who've been reading our books, and they don't realize it. So we are the iconic animal book. We've got the Tarsier, we've got the or Tarsier, depending on how you say it. We've got the Camel book with Pearl, and that's, I think, one of our biggest ones that we got started with. And then we also have the Missing Manual series, which looks nothing like the rest of our books, so it's easy to miss that it's O'Reilly, with the Head First series as well. And, oh my gosh, the catalog has just ballooned. There were a few years when we weren't quite doing the animal thing, which I'm glad that we've come back to it, because it is iconic. It's what
Right.
people know us for. And I have to say that my niece loves when I bring her animal stickers. It's like the one thing I can bring her from a tech conference that she
It'll
likes.
definitely make her smile.
Exactly.
Right, so I know there was something else that you were mentioning a little while ago that's coming up. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So we have a conference coming up called OSCON, Open Source Convention. We've been doing it for, I think this is going to be our 16th year, and that's in Portland, July 20th through 24th. And on the 20th is something that we're doing first time ever. It's really exciting for us. You can hear the excitement in the voice, right? Mm-hmm. It's too early. So what we're doing on the 20th is a Kids Day. We've been to a lot of conferences recently where we're seeing small kids programs getting started, and we want to get behind that. We want to be a part of that. So we've partnered with a group called DevOps for Kids, and we have a full day program where we're going to be teaching people, Scratch, Python. I think there's going to be some Raspberry Pi or Arduino hacking, and it's like all ages. I mean, maybe 8 through 16 or so.
Right.
And it's just a nice thing to get involved with, because really, I know for myself that my love of programming started when I was in school, and it wasn't at school because it wasn't available at school.
Right.
So we just want to give people an opportunity to play with these things, see if they're interested, and if they are, then maybe they continue down that path.
Okay. Is there anything else you think people might want to know about, or?
Well, yes, actually, there's one other thing that I'm pretty excited about. Earlier this year, a couple years ago, we announced that we have something called Atlas. It's software that O'Reilly's been building in-house, which is kind of novel. We have a lot of software in-house, but it's mostly internal stuff. Mm-hmm. Atlas is something that we are going to be deploying as software as a service, and it's our publishing tool chain, actually. We were using it in-house for quite some time, but what it is editorial workflow based on Git. So that means that you can collaborate with other people very easily in authoring something. You can fork a book and repackage the content however you like. You can export to EPUB, Mobi, DAISY, PDF, HTML all at once. And it's based on HTML5 and CSS. So it's totally, it's not complete HTML5 yet, but we're getting there.
Okay.
So it's just an interesting thing that we're doing for ourselves, but we're now going to be turning that into something that is open to the wide world. And it's just a different approach to editorial that I think is pretty exciting.
Well, it does sound pretty exciting. Sounds like a lot of good things going on at O'Reilly right now.
Never a boring day.
Right. So tell people how they can get in touch and find out more about what's going on with O'Reilly.
So O'Reilly, you can find us online at O'Reilly.com, OReilly.com. O'Reilly Media on Twitter, and I'm at Josh Simmons on Twitter. So feel free to ping us anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, Josh, for sitting down with us, and thank you, O'Reilly Media, for helping sponsor KCDC 2014.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.